Today we are going to conclude our Word for Beginners series. If you haven't watched part 1, it is available on our YouTube channel and on our website at lanepl.org/webinars. In our last video, we discussed how to create a new document, how to change your font, how to add bullet points and lists, how to change spacing in your paragraphs, how to change your margins, and copying and pasting. Today, we are going to focus on using templates, inserting pictures into your document, wrapping text around your document, adding text boxes, adding headings and footers, and adding page numbers. Once again, I'm using the 2016 version of Word, so my screen might look a little different than yours. First, let's look at templates. When you first open up Word, it gives you the option to either choose a blank document right up here at the top or to select from a template. Now, I briefly went over this in the last video. So there are templates for resumes, cover letters, business cards, greeting cards, flyers, calendars, and so on. The most popular template used are the resume templates. So let's look at a few available options by either clicking on the resumes and cover letters link here, or we can also search in the search box for resumes. So these are the templates that are available, and you can select any one here that you like. So we are just going to click on this one here, and then if you decide you want to use this, you'll hit this create button. Now every single spot that has text in it on this template is able to be edited. So you can click in any text field and it highlights it, and that's when you can just start typing in your information. So everywhere that there's text on the screen, you are able to edit it. So let's go ahead and start writing some stuff. Let's say our first name is John and last name is Smith. Experience, we're just going to do from November 2015 to, we'll click in the 2, and we can do November 2019. Education, we can just do, there's a degree title, there's a school, we can just do a general. Under skills, you can click on all of these, you can say Microsoft Word. Anyway, you get the idea. So you can click in any of these fields and start editing your information. This is really easy to work off of since it's already a template that's already laid out for you. So I would suggest something simple like this if you were to create a resume. Now I'm going to open up another document that I've already created, and I'm going to show you guys how to copy and paste pictures in there and how to wrap the text around the pictures. Now let's talk about inserting pictures. So you can either use clip art from Word or you can search online to find what you're looking for. So this is a document that I've already laid out the way I wanted it to. So let's say you have this document and you have a couple paragraphs in it and you really wanted to add an image. So you can either use Word clip art or you can just Google image search what you're looking for. So I'm going to open up Google. I'm going to search book clip art. And we'll click images. So once you find the image that you're looking for, click on it to open it up. You can right click and hit copy image, and then open up Word again, and then you're going to right click and hit paste. There are a few things you can do with pictures in Word. For one, you can resize and rotate the picture. So if you click on the picture, you are going to get all these white dots around the corners and on the sides, and that lets you stretch it, or if you hit on a corner, it's going to equally stretch it for its height and width. And if you click on this arrow right here, and hold it down and drag it, you can actually rotate your picture like this. So there are a lot of different options that you can do when you're working with pictures in Word. So let's shrink this a bit. Now you can also move this picture around on your document, and you'll notice as we're moving it how it's going to mess up my paragraphs depending on where I place the picture. And you see how it's just kind of messing everything up because I have not set any parameters for wrapping my text around this. Let's say something really easy. If you wanted this to be right in between the first two paragraphs, then you can click and drag, and you see where that black line is. That is going to be where your picture drops. And then you can also use the paragraph alignment tool right here if you wanted it to be centered. But let's say that you wanted to have your picture off to the side with your paragraph text wrapping around it. So if you wanted to do that, you are going to need to wrap your text. So once the picture is selected, you can see this icon here. This is your layout options. So this allows you to choose different ways to lay out your picture within your text. It automatically defaults to be in line with text, but text wrapping is the next section. And there are 6 different choices. So when I click on each of these, I want you to notice how your document is going to change. So if you go square, you notice that the paragraph has now made a square around your image. You can go tight, and it's kind of the same thing except it hugs your image a little bit more. You can go through. In this, you might not see much of a difference unless you start moving your image. So you can see when you do through, your text is going to wrap around and kind of hug your image that way. Then you can do top and bottom. Let me make this smaller so you can see it. Top and bottom, it does exactly what it sounds like it's going to do. It's going to wrap the text around your image just on the top and bottom, but not on the sides. And then you can do behind text if you wanted this to be kind of like a background on your page. Obviously, this is a really dark image to do something like this, but you notice how the font is overlapping the image. And then you can do the exact opposite. You can bring your image to the front, and you see how it kind of erases the text that's behind it. So those are just some things that you can do with pictures in Word. Now I'm going to show you how to insert text boxes. So we are going to go up here to the Insert tab, and then by text boxes you can click on this down arrow, and these are all your text box options. So for today we're just going to go basic. We're going to click on this first simple text box. Now you can click and drag this text box and move it around your screen. Once again, you have different layout options, so it's kind of treating this text box like it treated our picture. So in here, we can just type in, books are cool. And if you highlight the words here and click on the Home tab, this will once again, you can change your font size, font color. There are a lot of different options you can choose from. Let me move this down here. If you click on the Format tab right here, you can also see that there are other options you can choose from. You can fill in the background of your text box with any of these colors. You can also hit more fill colors and kind of create your own color that you like and hit OK. And see how that changed the background layer. You can change the shape outline. Let's say that you just wanted it to be a plain white text box and you did not want this black box around it. So if we click on your text box, the shape outline we can change to white, and then it got rid of that outline for us. Or you can also add a different color to be your borders around your text box. You can also add different effects. So let's click on this again. The shape effects usually have some really cool like 3D shading effects. And notice how when I hover over each one of these, how our text box changes to reflect that. So these might be fun to just kind of look at and see, but there are a lot of different really cool options with this that you can do for your text boxes. Now we are going to add headers, footers, and page numbers to our document. So we are going to go back to this Insert tab here. And when you click on the header and footer options, it will once again give you different layouts for each one. You can also just double click at the top or bottom of your page, and that opens up a header and footer. But let's go back to the pre-selected options they have here. So these are the different layouts that are available if you wanted to get more fancy with your document. But today we are just going to click on this blank one here. So you can add your text here. Let's say you wanted your header to be public libraries. Then you can go to the Home tab, and then you can highlight this and you can change the font size, you can change the color if you wanted. You can do everything with this that you can do with the regular text on your document. Now whatever you type in your header and footer is going to show up on every single page. So let's add a footer, and then I'm going to show you what those look like. So we'll double click to get out of our header, and then we can go Insert, Footer. Let's just choose the basic blank one at the top, and then the footer can be books, and we can change to make sure that the font reflects the font and the font size the rest of our document has. Okay, so if I open up a new page, you hold down Control and you hit Enter, and it adds a new page. You can always move your text box back over, and you'll see this new page. We have the same header and footer. Now that's going to reflect on every single page. If you wanted to add a page number, you'll go back to Insert, Page Number, and then it gives you an option depending on where you want your page number to be on the page. Let's say you wanted it to be in the bottom corner, so we're just going to click on plain number 3, and you can see it got rid of our previous footer that we had. So if you wanted to add a page number, definitely do that before the footer, because what you're going to have to do is your page numbers here, you're going to have to type in your footer. I think we had books, and then you're just going to have to either space or tab until you get it aligned to the opposite corner of your page. Or let's say you wanted to put your last name right by your page number. Let's get rid of all these spaces, and we can just type in your last name here right by the page number. You see that has now reflected on page 2 as well. And you can always double click on either the top or bottom to reopen again, and then you can highlight, go back to the Home tab, and this is where you can change everything however you would like. Okay, so this concludes our basic overview of Microsoft Word. The best way to get proficient at using it is to practice. If you do not own Microsoft Word, it is installed on all library computers. If you have any additional questions, you can go to your local library for help. For more of a workshop seminar about Microsoft Word, you can also go to Ohio Means Jobs, and that is located at 4631 Dixie Highway, Fairfield, Ohio, 45014. They offer weekly workshops every Thursday from 1 to 2:30, and you can always call them and register. And once again, you can always come into your public library and ask one of us for help, and we would be happy to assist you.